Hey guys, my name is Amy Jane and welcome back to my channel. We hear about so many different diets today like vegan, paleo, whole30, keto, carnivore, and probably many I haven't even heard of yet. And it can be confusing sorting all these out and deciding if one of these may be beneficial. I'm a registered dietitian and in today's video, I'm going to help you determine which diet is best for you. First, we briefly have to talk about the meaning of the word diet, because if you're planning to eat differently for a short amount of time in hopes that you lose weight, and then afterwards go right back to what you were doing and eating, well, that would be foolish and ultimately a waste of your time. The original definition of the word diet is the kinds of food that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. For the duration of this video, that is what is meant by the term diet. So if your current diet isn't providing you with health, vitality, or a healthy body weight, and you're looking to change your lifestyle with a new diet, then you're in the right spot. While I have opinions on what I believe is healthiest for most people, I do understand that each body is different and there isn't a one-size-fits-all diet. So how do you determine what's best for you specifically? It all comes down to these three factors. One is your symptoms. So in theory, if the diet you're eating is providing you with health and vitality, you shouldn't experience negative symptoms, provided that there isn't an underlying medical reason. So in other words, if you're experiencing tiredness or low energy, poor sleep, headaches, aches and pains, low libido, abnormal menstruation, or other unpleasant symptoms, a diet change may be helpful. I recommend keeping a small journal to record these symptoms for comparison during dietary changes. Number 2 is your blood work, and I don't just mean your cholesterol and triglycerides. Our blood work can show us a greater picture of our health that our symptoms may never be able to pick up on. So if your blood work shows that you have a high amount of inflammation or other markers that contribute to disease, you might consider changing up your diet. I recommend getting the following blood test to determine if your current diet is keeping you low risk for disease, especially for heart disease, which is our #1 killer here in the US. The first is the NMR test, which tells us LDL particle number and LDL particle size. This is not the same as traditional LDL cholesterol, which is a poor indicator. Stay tuned for an upcoming video on LDL cholesterol for more information. Triglycerides, HDL, CRP, A1C, and homocysteine. Number 3 is research. What diet pattern does research show will help prevent people from developing heart disease and other health issues? This is a tough one for a couple reasons. Conducting quality research can be difficult and expensive, and plus some studies seem to contradict one another. Ideally, dietitians and doctors would be responsible for sifting out poor quality research, reading and studying the high quality research, and passing that on to the public. However, this doesn't always happen, which is why I encourage you to try and read the research yourself as best that you can. But if you're unable to, then just pay close attention to your symptoms and your blood work, and meanwhile, try finding an educated dietitian or doctor who prioritizes research. So between your symptoms, your blood work, and current research, you should be able to determine which diet is best for you. Now, with anything in life, there will be some trial and error. If you need to change up your diet but are unsure what to do, make some of those changes and see if your symptoms and blood work improve. And if they do, great. I would suggest recording symptoms and getting blood work done every 2 months for about 6 months long before deciding if the new diet is serving you well. If your symptoms and blood work don't improve, or in fact they get worse, then discontinue that diet and make some changes again. Remember, making changes to your diet to improve your health should not be a temporary change, but instead a lifestyle change. So you'll want to ensure that the changes that you are making are good for the long term. I have a type A personality and like to have a specific drawn out list of foods that I'm going to eat and ones that I am not that will keep me symptom free, show good blood work results, and keep me at a healthy weight. But not everyone's this crazy. So to keep things simple, you might not need a brand new by the book diet either. Research doesn't always coincide, but in general, most research does support a diet that is low in processed foods, low in sugar and refined carbohydrates, low in processed oils, and contains high amounts of non-starchy vegetables. So this means ditching most processed and sugary foods like candy, soda, baked goods, pasta, cereal, vegetable and canola oils, and some fruits and vegetables that contain a high sugar and carb content, mostly for people with a low glucose tolerance. So in a nutshell, eating real food that came from the earth almost as is. So this is mainly fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and high quality meat, poultry, and fish. If you haven't already, go check out my video on steps for meal planning and tips for staying consistent. That will be linked below in the description box as well as at the end of this video. If you enjoyed this type of content and want to see more, let me know by liking this video and subscribing. And if you have any questions on this subject, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.